All right. Well. So here we are, our first Tigrinya lesson. We're going to start with the foundation of Tigrinya, the basics of Tigrinya that unless you learn it early on, it becomes very difficult to learn later. And it is the structure that literally kind of keeps Tigrinya somewhat complicated, but at the same time also interesting. So let's start with, again, like any language, with the simplest thing that you learn is the pronouns, correct? So you would want to know the I's, the you's, the we, he, she, and things of that nature, right? So in English, it is pretty straightforward. You say I, you, and we, and so on. In Tigrinya, a little bit more complex, but let's look how complex that is. When you say I, it is pretty straightforward, correct? You're talking about yourself, and we have a word for that. It's called ane. So I is ane, okay? That's a neutral one. That means you're talking about yourself, whether you're a female or a male, it doesn't make any difference. And the same is true when you talk about we. When you say we, we're talking about us. It really doesn't matter whether we are female or male, correct? It doesn't impact. We're talking about us. We could have made a difference, but there isn't a difference between the male and female. But it is still plural. In Tigrinya, unlike English, as you can see, the pronoun depends on gender as well as the number of people, the quantity. So, for example, when you say in English you, it could mean you as one individual, as a female. It could also mean you could refer, you use that name to say you to a male or to multiple people that are male or female. So it's really not clear. So you have you, one pronoun used for multiple, to indicate multiple purposes, essentially. So what you see here in Tigrinya is, depending on whether it is male or female, whether you're talking about a single person or plural, you'd have a very distinct pronoun for that. For example, if you say you to a person that is a male, you use nisakha. Nisakha, you will use it to a single person, one individual that is male. When you have multiple men or boys, then we say nisukhum. Okay? Nisakha is for one person, and nisukhum is for multiple boys or men. So plural, male or masculine. Then you have the female part of it. You could also refer to a single individual who is female. In English it is you, but in Tigrinya it is nisakhi. Okay, so you see here, we use nisakhi to indicate a female single person. Then you have female, feminine, but multiple women or multiple girls. So when that happens, in English you still use you, but in Tigrinya you're actually using nisakhan. Okay? So you see the difference. There are 4 you, and they are nisakha, nisukhum, nisakhi, nisakhan. Okay, again, ane was I. Nisakha, it is for male and single. And nisukhum is for male, plural. Nisakhi for male, a single person. And nisakhan, again, female, but multiple of them. Okay? And then when we refer to we, then we use one word, which is nahna. We don't make a difference whether we are female or male in this particular case, okay? So now you have I, you, and we, those three different pronouns in Tigrinya, actually multiplied by 3, you now have 6, or multiplied by 2, 6. Okay, ane, نسخة, نسخوم, نسخي, نسخن, نحنا. Okay? Now, then it gets a little bit more complicated when you are referring to a third person, like he and she. Because right now we are not talking about the third party, we're actually talking about, ourselves and the second person. Now, when we go to the third person, we have similar structure. Okay, we come here. As you can see, the third person here is she, female and single. That's nisa. If it is a male, it was nus. Oh, sorry. We'll go back here. So for female and for single, it is nisa. For male and single, it is nisu. Okay? And for female in plural, then nisatan. Okay? So she is nisa. When there are multiple of them, nisatan. So if it was Haben here, I would say she did something. I would say nisa, blah, 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 blah. But when they are Aryam sisters, all of them, I would say nisatan, because there are multiple of them. Okay? And if it is for boys, we're going to say he in English, obviously, and in Tigrinya I would say nisu. So female, nisa, male, nisu. When there are multiple boys, and we're indicating a third person, then we use nisato, which is they. As you can see, they in female and they for male, those are two different words. Nisatan, nisato. Okay? So, now, that is a lot, correct? That's a lot, but it is very precise. You cannot misunderstand things when you are this specific. Now, unfortunately, you'd have to learn those because there are multiple of them. It takes a little bit of time. So, again, it is pretty straightforward in terms of the structure. It depends on the gender and the quantity of people that you're referring to. Okay, if we go back. Ane, okay, here, ane is one person, that's me, I. It's neutral. And nisakha, it is you for male and a single person. Nisukhum, male and for multiple of them. Nisakhi is a female, single one. And then when you have multiple girls, you refer to them as nisakhin. So nisukhum and nisakhin are for multiple. Nisakha and nisakhi are for single. Okay? And then the we is as, and it is neutral, it doesn't have that. So we say nahna. So ane, nisakha, nisukhum, nisakhi, nisakhin, nahna. Then when we refer to third person, as I said earlier, we're going to say she means nisa, they for female, and plural is nisatan. He, we say nisu. And when there are multiple boys or men, then we say nisatum. So they is nisatum for men and nisatan for girls. Nisa is for a girl, nisu is for a boy, a single. So these are fundamental pronouns that you really have to learn before you can go to the next level. Why? Because if you mess up this, then the structure of the sentence that you want to create or write or make depends on these pronouns.